It's more reasonable to assume that what Diana read was probably not wrong, right? But probably stated in a weird way. So you read the 7 old witches, like the witches of old, the original witches pretty much what they created the whole school and so on, that they sealed away this thing. And Chariot, Ursula, I guess, opened it up like 10 years ago, whatever. It was to give her massive powers, and then she was fighting some demons and whatever. So maybe she needed to do that to get her true strength and so on. And then Akkos was working on doing it again. And it feels like, so I'm thinking that, yeah, this episode is very interesting because it definitely showed us like a lot of world building here, a lot of world building to make a good episode out, because we not only did we see this thing, it was confirmed obviously that, super confirmed now that she is of course Sharon and so on, but also we saw her teacher and we saw like what she's planning for Akkos, like Akkos to open up these 7 seals, now she's 2, there's 5 left. So we saw that thing, right, and this like the text on her card games and so on is like telling her the words, it's like weird language, this old language I guess. So we see what Ursula is doing, we see what Akkos is meant to do. But at the same time, we had Diana reading a book that also was locked, only opening up on the Blue Moon night, and a series in the book is like, don't open up this. It doesn't sound good. It's like, oh, there's like 7 seals of Satan or something. Okay, obviously I could misinterpret it, but it's like, yeah, like that's, it kind of felt like a typical thing, like, okay, we sealed away this devil, right? Don't open those seals. Don't open the doors. And then see these 2 sentences being like, yes, open the doors. But obviously they seem to be the good version, so it's kind of weird. But also interesting enough then, which I'm interested in, is that we had never heard about the 7 old witches earlier in the series, but in this episode, just before Diana discovers like don't open the seals, we also see that they have these 9 hats. We saw how they looked. One definitely looked the Power Rangers enemy, the classic Power Rangers, absolutely the same kind of hat, it's kind of weird horns, right? Absolutely the same hat, if you ask me. And so you have to think about maybe those witches then were the evil ones. That's kind of, if you look at it from Akkos and Ursula's perspective, they were kind of that, right? Like she is the good one, Ursula's the good one. They probably want to open up the seals, the words, and get that thing fixed, right? For whatever reason. So, but then of course the book says this 9 basic creative witches steal it away. So it's just like, why would they do that if they are good ones? Because it wouldn't surprise me if those 9 old witches aren't actually good people, right? Because they are, okay, they created school and so on, but we see that most teachers are kind of like, are neutral or kind of douchebag, except Ursula and the principal pretty much. Everyone else is kind of like, whatever, magic and so on, yeah. So that definitely could be something. Of course, at the same time, they're like weird because they're like, oh, they were good witches back in the old days and so on, when magic was popular. And by sealing it away, it could be that maybe they sealed away magic for everyone, so you know most people can't use magic. Maybe they sealed away so they will keep the power. I guess I definitely see something like that happening, right? Where it would be like, well, actually the Nine Witches, they kind of steal away this kind of general magic power, this god that give everyone like basic powers, so they will have more and then siphon it themselves, so they had more powers. So they were like 9 gods, like 9 demigods, instead of having, you know, everyone being decently strong. I can see that happening. It feels like something that, right? Or maybe everything is just very... Maybe the book is wrong, of course. That's definitely a possibility. The book is completely wrong. But I don't know. It feels like it's definitely a mystery there. It's very interesting. Definitely a mystery there. But yeah, really, really good. Definitely the best episode, I would say, in world building so far in the whole episode, in the whole series, because this gives us the reason behind the staff is so weird. The reasoning, like behind, not exactly Ursula's reasoning, but like the general, okay, Akkos is being given this staff and she can do some good shit with that. And of course, Akkos' like main goal, even know it. So if you do this, probably like accidentally over the months and so on, but that's still right. So we know that as well. And also, of course, again, we also know about the witches and blah blah, and about these things in the way and so on. It's very unclear if it's good or not, whatever, but like we know that as well. So there's a lot of information. This is definitely the heaviest episode so far, information-wise. There's a huge amount of information in this episode, so that's really good. So yeah, like a great. If you look at the episode in general, then one issue though, which I commented several times on the live reaction, was that it's how to say, kind of lazy, because it did reuse animation. It did absolutely reuse animations. we saw the shiny chariot from the first episode probably like 4 times or so, right? We saw the whole scene even, but it was like short cuts, so we instead of being like 3-4 minutes, it was like 1 minute, but still we saw like every damn frame from that pretty much, like and then we saw it again, and then we saw it at least a third time, but then they have Akkos instead. It made a little more sense though, but it was like, you know, they just changed the face of Chariot pretty much, exact same body and so on, so it's like again the same clip. And then I was also thinking about it sometimes. So yeah, it was like that's lazy. Definitely, there's a lot of reusing there. A very non-action per episode actually. Just a lot of information, yeah. I think it was a really good episode though. In just the world building, just a lot of gave us, but definitely in that standpoint, it was like, yeah, it didn't really. That was lazy, and then they didn't progress on things either. But yeah, definitely an Akko and Chariot episode. The other characters, they had a little of course, but the other characters had nothing. Like Susie and so have nothing to do there, right? Susie and Lottie, so on, they were out of it. And yeah, there's nothing to do anything. Yeah, and then of course we see Professor Woodwarden, which that's interesting in the whole Little Witch Academia. Because they have like the fish sensei. And now we also have a sensei that's like some kind of a dryad or elf or something. She's like living in... Yeah, but the weird thing with her, and this is all the people in the series, is that she's living in this like cave that you can't open up without the staff. But I guess she was a teacher of Ursula, more than just that. So it's like, where she's an actual teacher somewhere, like she's actually doing classes, but then she's running into the cave, like, come on, wood monster! It's like... Yeah, it feels like she's living in it, like she's sealed away, or she like, and that was just her like fake form, of course, like she didn't defeat her in some sense. Maybe she did. Yeah, that's weird too, like, because she was like, oh, you're testing her, but it means she was just like pretending to be a wood monster. Then when she was like kind of branches straw monster, then when she was like saying the message, oh yeah, I'm actually a beautiful elf, or was it like she was pretending? Because how would she break it then? Like right? So it feels like she was looked away as a monster, right? For I guess 10 years or something, and I should think, oh yeah, it's like I'm free. And it's like, yeah, you will guide her. So that is a weird, and really hard to tell if she. I'm guessing she's not an actual teacher, of course. But then it's like, was she just going into that night? Is she just generally? It feels. I would predict that she's like generally living in the castle, like in this huge school mansion castle. Right? She's like, oh yeah, I'm a wood spirit, but this is my like monster form. Oh, you're a bit monster good, you really seal. Now I can go around and like live in the woods or something around the school, or live in the garden, or I'm alive in that and that. But she felt like a character that was very old, especially when you saw these flashes of like, okay, some kind of war. You know, she might be one of the nines, the old witches, something that maybe from that time period. Right? It felt like she was probably like a living wood spirit / dryad, I guess dryad more than elf. But they're elf-like, and I was like, yeah, so just, her spirit is pretty much like won't die, and she's like sustaining herself by probably living in plants or something around the school, right, or in the garden or something. That's probably what she is. But it's like, yeah, so it's like that's a little weird. Yeah, definitely is. And one reason by that is because they never did something where like they lined up the senses or something, right? Some other animes, mangas, and so on, because you have teachers of school mangas and so on. Sometimes they line up teachers, right? It's like derp, like you do in real life, right? And they say, okay, these are teachers, and you can see, okay, she's probably gonna be some evil person because of this. And you know, if you look at Harry Potter, used to be easy here. They did a lot to be Harry Potter, right? Obviously, all these characters and so on. So you can see, and then half of them have their name and so on. But you can see, okay, there's Snap and so on. And so yeah, so that's a little weird into the media because they have no relation to Professor Woodward. Like we haven't seen him before. If he was a teacher, you know, in one episode earlier, just like for 1 minute, oh, I'm teaching you herbalist magic, and then it's like she's never in it again. That would be, I think that actually be much better if you ask me, because that would be like, oh, that's that, right? I recognize her. Oh, she's the dryad from episode 2, right? That could be something way more like, oh, we see her in the garden watering flowers in episode 6 or something. This is like, okay, but maybe she's been in the anime before, but I can't remember that. I had episode on school as well, right? So that's kind of weird. That's why it feels a little weird to have. Obviously, she's the teacher that Shared mentioned, right? That it's added up to. So it's kind of weird where you have a teacher that's like Yeah, so but she has no like build up before. There's no like this is the sensei earlier, and you probably won't see her again either. It's in the school. I mean, she might appear in some other this the main story arc, but it's just a little weird that she's just sensei. Yeah, that is a little weird. I think this series could do that better. They can have more characters just briefly gone over and so on. I guess a problem with it is that man of teachers you do see when it's called Akkos and so on, most of them don't have a storyline or nothing like that. Like they use some random names or faces you see a few times, and they have no story around them. Yeah, which is fine though, until this thing happened, because I was like, well, now you have a sensei here that appeared in this teacher school, or was at least, and now she's like a wood spirit living in school or something. Yeah, it's like, but of course it's magic, and because yeah, it's like it's happening. It's just like I felt that the problem should have spent a little more time on that. Maybe Ursula said like, oh yeah, how is it living as a embodied spirit or something? You know, like, yeah, Ursula said anything about it. It felt this like Ursula's like, okay, and then she turned to leave and fly away, and it's like that's kind of weird that she didn't comment on it at all. That her old like mentor was like, okay, she's a living wood god now. Like that, like it's okay, whatever. I guess maybe it'll be the future though. But yeah. Definitely a good episode. And also a very funny episode. It has some humor in it, which makes this anime so good, because they can have a lot of world building, a lot of information, but still have a lot of jokes in it. Like the beginning was kind of funny, and then it was slightly funny and so on in the end. And then of course you had generally there was very shonen, right? We had the Akkos being like, oh, I can do what I want, fuck you, ghost, I won't give up, and so on. So there's a lot of characterization, of course, for Akkos, which is good. So yeah, a great episode. I was thinking I would give it like 9 out of 10. I think it was a little much, mainly for the animation. They were rehashing it too much there. I think we need that. There was some flashback. Yeah, there's some flashback to the Shining Road with the archery, and yeah, like it was probably like 4 or 5 minutes in the episode. It was like pure flashback, just exactly cutting on the flashbacks. I've already seen it previously, so I felt that was lowering the episode. Pretty much the only thing that actually lowered the episode. Because if you look at it, if you ask me, we look at it because it's kind of recent anime, right? It's like 1,000 episodes in the future. So if you look at it, for me, it's like, well, this episode was like 17 minutes instead of the actual full time, right? Because they just had like so much rehashing. Yeah, so 9 out of 10 for me, but overall, probably the most important episode so far, right? Absolutely the most important episode. So yeah, see you guys next week. Have a good day.